Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video tutorial we are going to learn how to crochet this beautiful and unique scrunchie. For this project you will need a hair elastic, your crochet hook, and a few yarns. I have 4 colors in here. To start, connect your first yarn with a single crochet around your elastic. Continue by adding single crochets all around your elastic for your first round. As you can see here in this video, I try to grab the tail of my yarn and crochet over the tail as I continue to make sure that it's tight enough, and I actually secured it this way. Keep adding single crochets around your hair elastics. It's gonna be between 40 to 50 single crochets. For mine, I think it's 48 until I felt it was enough for my first round, and it covered all around the hair elastic. Keep adding single crochets like what I'm doing. So I'm trying to fill in the gaps by moving the crochet stitches around to make sure that all around the hair elastic is covered by single crochets. At the end of the first round, when you are confident that the number of single crochets is enough for your hair elastic, connect the last stitch to the first stitch using a slip crochet. Keep the last 2 loops on your hook, and just like this, connect your second color. Make sure your yarn is tight enough, and then to start the next round we want to add 5 chains here. And then when we are going to attach these 5 chains to the second stitch from our previous round and connect it through a single crochet. Again, chain 5, but this time we are going to attach it to the very next stitch, just like this. Once again, chain 5, and this time we are attaching this to the second stitch from our previous round. And again, chain 5. This time we are attaching this using a single crochet to the next stitch. Keep continuing with the same pattern. So each time we always have 5 chains, but when we want to join our 5 chains to the stitches, once we are doing it with the second stitch, next time we are attaching it to the next stitch. I'll finish this round off the camera and we'll join you again at the end of the row. This is how it looks at the end of round 2. To connect my next yarn and to start third row, I just undo my very last stitches from previous round. And here, when I joined it through the slip crochet, I kept the 2 loops on the hook, and just like this attached my green color. To start the next round, we are going to add 3 double crochet to the next loop, just like this. Then connect it using a single crochet to the next loop, and then again 3 double crochet in the next space. We are going to continue the same pattern all around this row. This is pretty simple and easy. 3 double crochets in one space and then connect it using a single crochet in the next space. This is going to be our look, and I'm going to finish this round off the camera. Okay, I finished my green round, which is my third round, and we are about to start our final round. I connected my yarn using the same methods as before, and then I moved my yarn to the space between double crochets from previous round using a slip stitch, and then added 2 chains. These 2 chains counted as our first double crochet. Then I want to add cluster of double crochets here in between my double crochets from last round. So I kept the last 2 loops on the hook, and I added another double crochet, and then I pulled through all together. Continue by adding another cluster of double crochets just next to this first one in the space between our first and second double crochets from last round. Again, we are going to add 2 clusters of 3 double crochets in our next space. So here the first cluster of double crochets, and again 1 next to it in the same space. Okay, now you see that I have 4 clusters of double crochet here, and I want to make a popcorn stitch from all together. So I insert my hook at the very first stitch, and I pulled my yarn all through this stitch. Now chain 3 and connect using a single crochet to the same spot, just to the very first stitch on top of our very first cluster. Again, add 3 chains And this time we are going to attach this using a single crochet to our second stitch here. This is the top of our second double crochet clusters. Continue the same pattern, 3 chains, adding it, attaching it using a single crochet to the next space. I'm adding the last 3 chains to my last stitch here. So on top of each popcorn stitch, we are going to add 4 groups of chains. Chain 2 and continue with the same pattern. So yarn over and crochet a cluster of 3 double crochet here. We want 2 clusters in each space. When you're done with your clusters, pull your yarn and insert your hook to the first stitch, grab your yarn and pull it through from the first stitch to make a popcorn stitch here, and then again add 3 chains, connect through a single crochet on top of each stitch of your clusters. So this is going to be our pattern for our final round. Don't forget to add 2 chains between each of these tulips. Now I'm reaching the end of the final round and I'm adding my last tulip here. Create your popcorn stitch and then crochet the top of your flower. Add your last 2 chains and connect your yarn using a slip stitch here. And that's it, we're done. Let's cut our yarn and make sure to weave in your yarn to make it secure. So this is how it looks at the end of the project. This scrunchie is really beautiful, really easy, and you can make it done in only half an hour. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.